Yes, you are listening to the Ready, Set, Retire radio podcast with Steve Anzuoni. My name is Jessica Forkel. Get more details on the website at fairwayfinancial.net. Ramit Sethi is a financial author, and he recently tells Morningstar that the biggest mistake couples make in planning for retirement is they designate one person as the money person while the other just kind of tunes out.
Here's the dynamic. We intuitively divide up responsibilities in a relationship. One person empties the dishwasher, the other mows the lawn. I get that. But money is unlike any of those things. Money is much more similar to parenting. It encompasses every part of life. And you would rarely see a couple, especially these days, who says like, oh, he does the parenting or she does the parenting. No, it's like, right, we both do it. We talk about it every day. And that is the same with money.
Well, here's the deal. I guess there is that thing, the husband or wife does this and I do the trash and you clean the bathrooms or whatever it is. You divide it up. But when it comes to talking about your money and your retirement, I can't agree more. Everybody needs to be on the same page. Everybody needs to be a part of that planning process, right?
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate of that. I have couples come in all the time and it's like, well, he does the money or she does the money. And I'm like, no, when you're sitting with me, you're both going to do the money. And here's why. Unless you can tell me who's going to die first, you both need to know a little something about this because that's the challenge. And just because one person is maybe more geared toward it, likes numbers better, doesn't mean that the other person can't have a basic understanding of what's going on. That's very, very important to me when we sit down and we talk. I'm not saying you have to know everything about it, but you need to know enough to say, all right, if this happens, this is what I need to do. This is who I need to call. And we can get the ball rolling that way. And by the way, I think it's hilarious what he said about mowing the lawn and dishwasher because that's it's kind of how it works in my house, although I do try to help with the dishwasher every now and then. But what I get back is, honey, it doesn't go there. It goes over here.
That's right. You're doing the dishes wrong in the dishwasher.
And it turns out to be an exercise that should take 5 minutes, but every time I help, it tends to take 10 minutes.
Hey, just stay in your lane, Steve. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. I kind of get that speech every time I do it, but... I want to get a little A for the effort. That's all. All right.
I get you.
But I think he's right about that. People tend to do that. It's just the way the world works. And depending on the couples, and I'll tell you, in the past, in the 80s and 90s, when I talked to people, it was like 90%. The guys in charge of the finance and and all this other stuff. And I just used to sit there and just smile because I'd say, okay, you might be in charge, but you're probably going to be the first one to go there, buddy. So you better make sure that your spouse knows what's going on. But these days, I'm finding it's a lot more equal, which is fun. It's more refreshing that both spouses take ownership more today than I've seen in the past. And that helps me with my job, too. So I like that a lot.
And that's also part of your process. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they come in and sit there down, and you might be able to tell one is more financial savvy than the other, but you waste no time when it comes to engaging that other person and saying, okay, I want to make sure everybody understands. This is the plan A. This is the plan B. This is how this works.
It's important because sometimes I'll see that one spouse will try to take over the conversation. And I'll be like, well, hold on. Let's just back up. Let's make sure that we're both on board with what's going on and what the ideas are. Obviously, in my family, I tend to take it over because this is what I do for a living. But I also feel it's important that Tracy knows at least what's going on and where the monies are. So I set up these spreadsheets, if you will, of where all our monies are, the account numbers, everything. And then I password protect the password, which is another password to protect that. I mean, it's literally Fort Knox to get in, but she knows all that stuff and how to do it because it's really important. Because let me tell you something, gang. When you lose a spouse, not only is it a tremendous emotional loss and potentially could be a financial loss too, it's also just so stressful on the survivor to try to reel stuff in. We do these meetings. We've been in business a very long time. We've had clients pass away. It happens. As a matter of fact, we just had a meeting this week with one of my clients who we've had forever. Listen to this. He's been married 65 years. Can you imagine?
Wow, that's amazing.
And to lose a loved one after that long is just so hurtful. And so we wanted to do everything we could to help him and, the family that they bring in. We want to be there for them and to walk them through and to take the financial situation off the table as much as we can because they have enough on their plate. Mm-hmm. So listen, that's what we do here. We want to help people. We want to put them in a position where they can understand what's going on and what they have. It's a priority for us. We really do, Jess. So if this is something that you folks listening out there are concerned about or have thought about and want to get a handle on it, come see me. Let's have a talk. Let's have a conversation. I'm right here in Hyannis. It's a beautiful location right here on Main Street. Not a lot of tourists around right now, so not a lot of traffic. So come on down and love to have a conversation with you about it.
And again, that phone number, 508-552-3230. And also, folks, just want to let you know, whether it's a quick phone call or you pop in the office or what have you, this is a complimentary, meeting with you guys. This is, hey, these are my concerns, my wants, my needs. How can you help me? Tell me how, and your process is different from others. So just want to let you know that out the gate, it's complimentary. 508-552-3230. Now, Steve, I was kind of telling you during the break, when I think of people as rich as like anybody, Jeff Bezos, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, whoever it is, LeBron James, for some reason, the fact that they would even consider taking Social Security just completely escaped my brain because they have so much money. What's an extra couple thousand going to do for them? You know what I mean?
Listen, the reason why those people have so much money is they account for it. So.
I guess so. I bring all this up. Just stick with me, people. I bring all this up because Oprah, guys, listen, she is a billionaire, okay? But yes, she paid into it. She worked hours. She did all the things. So yes, she qualifies for the maximum benefit of a whopping $5,108 a month as long as she waited to claim to age 70 here. So that might be pocket change to her. But I bring all this up to say Social Security literally acts as a lifeline for millions of Americans here who really receive an average of about $2,000 a month. So Social Security, we know, is designed to make up for that 40% of income. So, Steve, I want to know from you, is there another strategy out there that mimics Social Security and can help fill that income gap? Because there's another 60% then we don't have covered.
But look at the interesting relationship between Oprah's paycheck, which sounds high, but at $5,100 a month, it's a mere fraction of her income versus the average American at $2,000 a month, which is certainly more than a mere fraction of their income. So Social Security is definitely meant for the middle class. There's no question about it. It was put out there in the 30s to, I don't want to say rescue America, but certainly to heal what was going on at that time around this country and around the world, frankly. So it's not the greatest system, folks. We know it. We understand that. We get it. However, you're paying into it. So you need to maximize it and learn how it works for both you and if you married your spouse, because it's one of the few pension plans that are left out there. So what else can mimic Social Security and fill the income gap? Well, believe it or not, annuities were built for that very purpose. And like them, don't like them, whatever, once people understand the benefits of annuities, and I've been in this business, this is my 40th year, Jess.
Wow. Congratulations.
I know. I'm excited. I'm glad I started when I was 10.
Exactly. You look amazing.
Thank you. So it's important to understand that the basis of an annuity is where you give money over and then get a check back. That's the very design of the basic annuity product. And we're not going to get into all the different variations. We'll do that when you come in the office to see what's right for you. But understand that if you are concerned about guaranteed lifetime income, not proposed, not hypothetical, but guaranteed lifetime income for you, and again, if you married your spouse, if you are concerned about creating a financial safety net, if you will, with your cash flow and income so that you don't have to get, as we Italians put it, agita, okay,
That's right.
when the market drops 22% like it did a few years back, or drops at the time you're ready to retire. If you want flexibility of payout options, well, Steve, maybe I don't want it for life. Maybe I want it for 20 years or 15 years. What if you are interested in reducing the longevity risk of living too long? We're living longer today, Jess, which is, on its face, it sounds wonderful, but What if you run out of money? What if you're 84, 85, still fairly healthy, right? Driving, doing your thing, going on vacations, and you have nothing left but a Social Security check?
Yeah.
That is the last thing in the world you want to have happen. So with that in mind, there are strategies. There are ideas that can fill those gaps in. That's what we're here for, and have been doing this for a very long, long time. And why we're independent and represent so many different companies out there is to help people figure this puzzle out, if you will, and add greater financial peace of mind to their retirement income needs, Jess.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about putting this puzzle together. Guys, think about it. It's literally like that 1,000-piece puzzle that you've got, and a part of it's put together. The other pieces are scattered all over the kitchen counter. All the different puzzle pieces I'm talking about are Social Security, having that income plan, having that tax plan, having that legacy plan, having the different buckets of money that Steve will go through with you when you come in, right? We're talking about the green bucket. We're talking about the red bucket, right? Give me all the buckets, Steve.
Yes, well, I've developed 4 buckets in my book that I wrote, Tee Up Your Retirement. And the 4 buckets are, of course, the income bucket's number 1. And it has to be, because if you don't have income, you can't retire. It's as simple as that. The second bucket is the inflation hedge bucket. We all understand what inflation is now. We've been through some pretty bad times the last year or so. So now we get it, and we need to account for that. The third bucket is, of course, emergency money, safe money that you have parked in the bank or something like that. Are you getting the most out of that money? Do you even have that money set aside? And the fourth bucket is what everybody wants to start with, Jess. It's your favorite bucket.
The fun buckets.
The fun
buckets.
And by the way, that bucket's colored purple, which is the color of your shirt today.
It sure
is. Did you wear that on purpose, the fun bucket?
Hey, I'm a fun kind of girl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm getting out there.
Yeah, so we give these colors for a reason, because green is go. Green is good, and that's the income bucket. And then the red bucket is the market bucket, because you got to be careful. You could do very well there, but you just got to proceed with caution, if you will. The blue bucket is that calming ocean. It's that money that's set aside that you don't have to worry about any sort of risk or anything like that. And purple, I don't know, purple's fun. I think of purple, I think of fun. So that's why I colored it that way. And, if you want a copy of the book, just give us a call. I'll be happy to get it out to you. We've got copies in the office ready to go for you. So anything we could do to help your road, to get there is great. So we look forward to working with you. Give us a call, and we'll be happy to walk you through and help you with all these ideas and process.
Yeah, if you're looking to put this retirement puzzle together, again, going through the different buckets of money there, talking about income, inflation, emergency, and the fun bucket, accounting for things like income, Social Security, taxes, unexpected things. This is all part of that retirement puzzle that Steve will help put together for you. And when you call today, we'll get you a copy of Steve's book. It's Tee Up Your Retirement. That phone number, 508-552-3230, 508-552-3230. The website, fairwayfinancial.net. We all know him. Rob Gronkowski played 11 seasons in the NFL before officially retiring in 2022. He was recently on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast and admitted that he's never, ever dipped into his pro football salary.
I'm very frugal and lived, with a roommate my first couple of years. I didn't know how long the NFL was going to last. I was a second-round pick, so it was like a 4-year, $4 million deal. And I was like, if I play this contract out, I'll be set for life. I got $2 million in my bank. I can make $200,000 of interest. I was like, if I only play 3-4 years, I'm good. Like, if I'm not the player, that I think I could be, whatever, I'm still set for life, because $2 million in the bank is set for life to me, at that time. I just always wanted to save it, and I just used my money that I was getting off the field to just spend it on whatever I needed to spend it on. To this day, technically, I have not spent any of my NFL money.
Wow. I mean, good for him. I mean, talk about being set for life. I think he's going to be all right, for sure.
That's really cool. He is a great guy. He really is. And obviously, I love to see him on the broadcast. I mean, he's on national TV broadcasting football games. So I bet you his income there is probably what it was when he started out. He's making really good money there. So that's smart. I mean, you love to hear stories like that, Jess, as opposed to these athletes who blew it all, gambled it all away, and they have to go back and play again, and they really shouldn't be playing again, but they desperately need the money. You know what I mean? So that's a really good story. And, everyone should take heart about that and create their own buckets, if you will, and save money for the future. That doesn't mean that you can't live for today, because my philosophy on life is to work hard and to work smart. You know what they say? You know, they always say you need to work smart, not hard. No,
That's
I think you need to do both. I think you have to do both. And so do that. Don't be afraid of hard work. There's nothing wrong with it. Our parents taught us that when we were kids. Nothing wrong with it. And save your money, all right? I know there's a million different ways you could spend your money today. You know, the internet's out there. Things are getting easier and easier to drop money on. But be wise and avoid temptations. Not all of them. And you got to have fun in life, too. If you save the money you're supposed to save, then you can spend the extra money. Don't be afraid to spend the extra money if you've done a good job saving. You got to reward yourself. So that is also another part of my philosophy is work hard, work smart, save hard, and consistently. That's the key. And spend the rest. That's what life's all about. So you want to create that bucket. There's the near future money you might need within the next few years. When I worked with the Boston Police Department back in the day, Jess,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun to do that because you saw these young men and women at the academy in West Roxbury. And here I am up in front of the room speaking to these individuals, and my father was a police officer. So I get it, and I saw it, and I got it. And even back when I did this in the 90s is when I was speaking to them and going to the different academies and the police stations. I was recommending that they do this near money, medium money, and long-term money. As a matter of fact, I did my early version of my 4 buckets back then with these kids. I did 3 buckets. And I said, you need money in the bank now for when you're going to buy a house or when you're going to expand your family, start your family. And then you need that medium-term money, 10, 15 years, because you're only 20. These kids were in their 20s, Jess. And so I'm talking to them about the future, and I'm like, look, to some of these kids, 10 years is the future. Like, they're like, 10 years? You know, I'm going to be 35. I'm going to be an old man, you know? And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, excuse me. That's not old. But it was really fun to do it, and I enjoyed it because I have a deep, deep respect for police officers. Obviously, my dad was one. And their long-term bucket was it used to be called PepsiCo. And for you folks listening out there who have been in the business a while or been around a while, you know who that was. But they changed hands over the years to different custodians. But that was a plan that officers used to contribute their money to. And then they had to do a forced pension, which I thought was fantastic because they didn't pay into Social Security. So they had to do their own thing. So that's the key, is to develop buckets, develop strategies, and that's what I love to do and I love to help people with. So listen, while you're listening out there, take a minute and give us a call and say, hey, heard the show, Steve, love what you had to say, makes sense, I'd love to talk with you. And we'd love to have you in. And that's how a lot of this starts. It's just a phone call. You got crazy hours. We can do it over the phone. Matter of fact, this is what, third Saturday of the new year? I've already worked 2 Saturdays. Not just doing the show. I'm talking about I met a person in the office because their hours crazy for both of them who were married. I said, you know what? I'll come in on a Saturday. I'm not going to do it in the summer.
But you'll be busy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, you don't want to go over the bridge on Cape Cod on a Saturday.
That's
Trust
true.
me.
That's true. But point being is that you go the extra mile.
The point is I will do whatever it takes to help you avoid the excuses of not getting done what you know in your heart you need to get done. So we're here. Give us a call, and I'm excited to help you.
Get more details on the website, fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Steve Anzuoni is a licensed insurance provider by the Division of Insurance and is not registered as an investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve Anzuoni, Massachusetts Insurance License 3851053. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Steve Anzuoni is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Steve Anzuoni is licensed in your state, please call 508-398-3337.